the system back and start the installation the week after that. Some of the quotes that what we expected from the company was about $12,000 if they came to the county and did the installation. Our travel expenses, our wages, and everything involved for us doing it should be under $4,000. So you can see that we're going to save about $8,000 by doing it that way. And the savings that we will have this year, next year, and for the next 5 years or so will be significant because we will be maintaining the system ourselves. And it used to be everything was very analog, and now the lines between what's a radio and what's a computer and how they communicate with each other is very blurry. So it was important to bring myself with the radio background, Chris with the IT background, and Mr. Hanson lives here in the county. He has a background, and he's been helping us with some other things, and he's going to kind of serve as a backup. You know, we have to try to make sure that if I'm out of town or Chris is out of town, that if we're going to maintain it ourselves, that we're prepared to physically maintain it ourselves.
Mr. Hanson, now, is the contractor, is there any point down the road where he might become an employee, or are you just going to find
I'm not going to say that he won't, but he is slated to take a job, and I don't want to get into anything, but you and I have discussed. He's slated to take a job here in the county, and he will be close and very easy to access and available to us in the evenings for that. His ability is very impressive. He has a 4-year IT degree and seems to be very knowledgeable of what he's doing. And so I'm not going to say that it won't happen, but it would have to be in a situation where we could afford him. And that's the thing. And that leads me to my next item of discussion. I want to address the pay scale that we use in the 911 center. We have not done that for the entire staff in 2 years. The last one went in effect on January 1st. Excuse me, the last one went in effect January 1st of 2009. The proposal that I'm asking raises most of the employees across the board some. It raises a couple of key positions a little more significantly, but it's not only about retaining people, and that's very important to me. It's also about being able to attract qualified individuals when you do interviews. And I remember 10, 15 years ago, we'd bring people in and we'd have a room full of people, and they'd leave and go down the road, and we'd sit there as a board and say, man, this is a tough decision. We like them all. Who do we pick? And now, 20 years later, we bring people in, and it's like, we're just not getting the response. You know, we're just not, we publish it, we spend $500 or $600 every time we interview, spending the money to advertise it in the Herald Dispatch, and advertise it in the Lincoln Journal, putting the information out, and you go through the whole process. You walk out of the room and you say, okay, does this person have, how bad is this person's criminal background? How qualified are these people? And it's very, very tough to find some of the professionals that we need. It's no longer answering the phones anymore. There is a lot of technical knowledge that's required, and a very intimate knowledge of computers. And when you bring people in and you say, do you have computer experience? And they say yes. And you say, well, what do you do with it? And they say, Facebook and surf the internet. That's not computer experience. I need somebody that knows how to hook up a printer and knows how to take a printer and install it and make cables. And I'll give this to you, but I give you a prime example in some of the stuff that I've got Thomas doing right now. Now you take this cable, and I guarantee you probably paid between $7, maybe $12 for this if you bought this cable. Well, we can make it in-house for $1.25. So when you pay extra money, sometimes you reap it back by getting those technical people to do it yourself. This is I know we can't vote on it tonight, or you all can't vote on it tonight, so I'm asking that we just take this under advisement, and then at some point in time, hopefully next month, we'll put it on the agenda. If you all feel like you need additional justification for what I'm asking, I'm willing to provide that. But we have so one more. Okay. If I slight Judy, I'll be in trouble.
I gave her mine.
it puts us in a position where we're more competitive. And you know, I'm always asking, okay, we want to travel, we want to learn how to work on this piece of equipment. The telephone system that we currently have in the 911 center, I went to tech school with Geneva in the late 1990s. We went to Temecula, California. And when we came back from that tech school, we canceled the service agreement with Verizon. Well, the service agreement at that time was $15,000 a year. So you take that $15,000 and multiply it by 10, and you realize that one trip of $4,000 reaped the county $150,000 in savings. So it's that I'd like to invest in the people that I have by training them, keeping them, attracting better people, and at the same time making sure that we're capable of working on our system. And it's not uncommon for us to offer assistance to another county with, have you read into this before? How do you deal with this before? And sometimes we know as much about the equipment as the people locally that do this for other companies that try to work for us, because it's a very specialized business.
Just making myself a couple of minutes. Al and I did talk, and anytime we ask for money, my first thing is, let's think about it, let's talk about it. And I asked him to go ahead and present something in writing so we could all take a chance to look at it and study it. I do agree with the concepts. You've got to have quality people. And in your area of work, if we listen from time to time, it does get more technical. Just a matter of what we can afford and cannot. Now, in these proposals that you have set forth here, out of the county general fund budget, we're not talking about money from the county.
We're not talking any money from the general fund, no.
We're talking about money either through cell service fees or fees generated from the state, or
We were paying $48,000 per every 6 months annually for the second floor of the building. And that was the second floor of the building that we pretty much finished ourselves with the help of local contractors, local volunteers, my staff. We were paying $48,000 on that. That loan was paid off earlier in the year. So we were able to purchase the radio consoles. We've already sent them a check for $20,000. We will owe them some additional funds, considerably more than that when they get back. But we have that money that we freed up $100,000